Korean, and Japanese. As a tourism, I learned so much about the different places, the economy, and even how to socialize to other people.
We took up computer secretarial in TIM because in this school we offer many opportunities, and I believe that this school will help me to achieve my goals and other things in life.
TIM teaches me how to troubleshoot and repair any malfunction or defect of any consumer electronics and appliances in its normal operation.
As a student of information technology, I believe that TIF helps the students to become competent individuals in the next few years. I have experienced the best quality education under this school. I am confident to use this course in this school.
There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, AntonioJuan.Cruz@jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Marketing Me Live at FEATI University, Philippine Women's University, JSMS, and Trent Information First Technical Career Institute and Central Colleges of the Philippines. So today we will be joined by speakers from jobs180.com, ADP, and Accenture. So before we start, may we invite everyone for a short prayer followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Okay, so again, welcome everybody. Ready na ba kayo? We hope you all are. And by the way, my name is Joyce from jobs180.com. I will be your today's host, and we are live via Jobs180 Facebook and Jobs180 YouTube page. And we hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. Okay, so to officially start today's session, may we invite Mr. Alfred Reyes, VP for External Affairs, Philippine Women's University, for the opening remarks.
Good day. On behalf of the PWU community and the Career Placement Office, headed by Mr. Gutierrez, I would like to welcome all of you to this Marketing Me live webinar with jobs180.com. Our high school students, as well as other students, will find this session invaluable as you navigate through your career and job choices. Jobs180.com has been our industry partner now for close to 9 years. They were one of the first partners for our Career and Placement Office, and we have worked well together because of the service we can provide our students through these partnerships with jobs180.com. One of their products early on, ResumeLink, is very useful not only for you, our students, but also for employers, as it provides a digital paperless system to send your resume in a secure and confidential manner. Their involvement in our job fairs goes back to 2013, and as one of our first partners, they were helpful in drawing other participants to PWU's job fairs in subsequent years. Jobs180.com continues to innovate, the latest of which is their gateway system. As always, our thanks to Mr. Kim Chua, Ms. Shari Lopez, and Ms. Joyce Katakutan. To show you how long we have been working with Mr. Kim Chua, and the team, he now has to clarify and distinguish himself from Miss Kim Chu, whereas previously Miss Kim Chu was not yet as popular as Mr. Kim. But seriously, maraming salamat as always, and we always look forward to your involvement with PWU and our future collaborations. Thank you and have a good day.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Alfred Reyes, for continuously supporting and collaborating with Jobs 180 also po. And of course, to give his opening remarks also, may we call on Mr. Akira El Kaisip, DBA FRIM School Director, Trent Information First Technical Career Institute.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for taking time to join us here today, and especially jobs180.com for facilitating this event. I'd like to thank also our students, our parents from the IF2CI, and of course other schools that are here, yung mga parents and students, and our families. When I say families, the stakeholders and other schools as well. Today, our resource speaker or speakers, which will be introduced later on, will be sharing some secret tips, on how to use the ResumeLink for job applications, a visual interview and dressing up, and hiring for work from home jobs. Now, our mission here is that by the end of this seminar, you'll leave feeling confident about the job interviews virtually or via face-to-face. Now, I encourage to drop questions or share your struggles and experiences in our chat box or comment in our page, at Jobs 180, in our official page at theifcci.com. And also, please feel free to share our page so that your friends and family can rewatch our webinar for today. So again, thank you all for being here today, and I hope wag po sana tayo magsawang sumuporta sa mga future activities ng school, hindi lamang sa school namin and all other schools as well. Again, welcome and thank you for being here with us today. Thank you.
Thank you also, Mr. Akira, for gracing the event. And good afternoon po. Okay, so this time, let's hear it from Ms. Melanie P. Florentino, Head of Events, Promotions, and Alumni Affairs, Sports Development, Athletics, Head Guidance and Counseling Office, FEATI University, for another opening remarks.
To the graduating students preparation program or grads prep committee headed by its director, Architect Dayan Pasis Ilaga, our student assistant services officer or SASO, Ms. Grace Chua, our guest speaker, Engineer Carlos P. Dizon, owner of CP Dizon Land Surveys and one of our genetic engineering alumni of FEATI University. Our guest speakers from jobs180.com and graduating students of FEATI University, of course. Good afternoon and welcome to this activity dubbed Marketing Me. This is your final year in college, but it is more than a farewell party to your youth. It's time to prep for the next phase of your life. Life after college is rapidly approaching. Are you ready? Leaving college and entering the real world can be intimidating, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. There are a number of things you can do while still in the university to make your transition easier, like attending this afternoon session and other activities lined up for you, courtesy of Grads Prep and SASO. The pandemic situation, which necessitated virtual or online learning in the last 2 years, did not prevent Grads Prep and Student Assistant Services Office to continue delivering its services and programs and to ensure to prepare you, our graduating students, for the real world out there. The job market is more competitive than ever, and preparing students for life after graduation is high priority. FEATI starts off with academic foundation by focusing on 21st century skills like critical thinking and problem-solving skills in the classroom. It aims to have our graduates better prepared for finding jobs. Over the years, A big percentage of our students reported employment in their chosen field within 1 year of graduating, as revealed in previous alumni tracer studies. And we are all proud of this outcome. This afternoon, Grads Prep and SAS is presenting to you resource speakers from jobs180.com, an IT company in the business of addressing changing needs of the job-seeking millennials. They are here to share you some guides, tips, do's and don'ts on relevant topics such as job application using the ResumeLink, preparing for job interview, both face-to-face and virtual platforms, dressing up with proper grooming, and hiring from work-from-home jobs, among others. This is an incredible resource that can help you build a winning resume. Practice mock interview questions and get career advice that may give you an advantage during your postgraduate job search. Another important activity lined up next month by Grads Prep and SASO in collaboration with FEATI Guidance and Counseling is the psychological testing and assessment. Since most companies or employers require all applicants to take a battery of tests, which is a part of their recruitment, screening, selection, hiring process. These are like your abilities, your aptitude, and personality tests. The online guidance testing will make you familiar with the psychological tests that we have here in Fiat University and will provide you a gauge of your own unique traits, your personality, your IQ, your interests, your own aptitude, and all that. We encourage you to take advantage of these activities and other universities' resources before you graduate. Let us work closely together. We want to be aligned toward a common goal of helping you find meaningful work and life after graduation. We all want you to leave Fiat University highly qualified to be a productive individual and contributor to your communities. Thank you and have a wonderful afternoon.
All right, so thank you, Tech. And at this juncture, before we move on to the talk proper, may I call on Miss Mary Grace E. Chua to introduce our motivational speaker for today's session.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Our guest speaker for today was officially registered as a licensed geodetic engineer in August of 1989. After several years of employment in the government and private sector, a professional partnership with a few of his friends, Engineer Carlos Dizon decided to establish and register his own company, Carlos P. Dizon Land Surveys, in July of 2007. Carlos P. Dizon Land Surveys was registered at the Department of Trade and Industry in July 2007 as a single proprietorship professional service offering surveying services. At the start, CP Land Surveys engaged in boundary survey, subdivision survey, and construction and engineering survey. Its client grew to include the biggest housing and residential resource developers in the country. He was able to work on several resorts and coastal projects in the Philippines and was engaged in topographic surveys, cross-section surveys, as-built surveys, relocation surveys, among others. He was a scholar of the Bureau of Land, now called Lands Management Bureau, and after graduation, he worked immediately at the Land Management Bureau. With that, he was able to receive his degree of Bachelor of Science in Geodetic Engineering from FEATI University in 1988. Without further ado, let's give a virtual round of applause to Engineer Carlos Pasis Dizon.
First of all, I would like to thank FEATI University for the invitation. It is such an honor and privilege to be given the opportunity to share my experiences with my fellow FEATians. Congratulations to the new graduates. Welcome to the real world. After graduation, one of the first things you will hear from your parents is, bawal nang humingi ng baon. At maghanap ka na ng trabaho. Well, yun yung reality ng buhay, di ba? So, upon reading the invitation, I immediately saw the words, marketing me and motivation. And I tried to think of how did I market myself when I was starting and how I can motivate these young graduates who will enter the real world. So I sort of started to reminisce how I started, how I went through all those years, the struggles, the failures, the triumphs, everything. Well, I can guarantee you one thing. There will be struggles and hardships and failures. Triumph and success depends on how you handle the hardships. There is no secret formula. Walang automatic success. There is no shortcut, no get rich quick scheme. We have to work hard. So let me give you tell you about my personal experience. I wanted to tell you the history of my career when I started working in the government. Then when I worked in a private company, and when I jumped into private practice. I wanted sana to enumerate all the things I have learned all those years. And then I realized that there is one thing that is constant. That is, you always have to do your best. Do not pretend to do your best. Huwag nyo yasa yung trabaho nyo sa kasama nyo and then take credit. So, also, learn how to work with others. Remember that people around you, your boss and your co-workers, even without saying out loud, will know and appreciate your work. And at the same time, alam din nila kung hindi ka nagtatrabaho. Nowadays in my office, whenever we complete our work and submit our report, I always tell my staff, some of them new graduates like you, iayos natin, gandahan natin, kumplitohin natin. Kasi our client will not remember the big fees they paid us. But they will remember the quality of our work. Hindi nila maalala na mahal ang binayad nila sa atin. Maalala nila ang ganda ng plano at ng report na nakuha niya lahat yung kailangan niya and he got what he paid for. So every time somebody asks them, do you know anyone who does this kind of work? Lagi naman yung nagtatanong pero yung mura lang Pero because your client is satisfied with you, bibigyan niya yung pangalan mo. And most likely, baka i-justify pa niya yung fees mo. Kasi sasabihin niya na worth it yung trabaho mo. So this is the same if you're employed. When you get a task, do it well and complete. Baka naman minsan sa'yo lahat bigay ng trabaho kasi yung galing mo. Do not be disheartened kasi keep in mind, you're starting and making your mark. What is the return? First, you get to train yourself the discipline of always doing your best. One day, yung mahirap na trabaho, it will feel so easy. Mahirap pag yung nakasanayan mo yung kung paano magpalusot sa trabaho at magtago sa boss. Baka isang araw hindi ka hanapin ng boss mo. Then when you do your best, you learn more. You earn more credentials, whether in promotion or when you look for another job. So another thing of a product of doing your best is you expand your network. Believe me, there is a bigger network of hardworking people than those lazy ones. And in the future, that network is going to be of help to you. And isa pang side effect of doing your best is you always are happy with yourself. There is always happiness in accomplishing matters. So, punta tayo sa struggles. Diba sabi ko sa inyo, yung struggles, laging meron yan. So, for me, I had my most difficult times in my private practice during the Asian financial crisis of 1997. Marami sa inyo hindi pa pinapanganak ng panahon na yan. So, it was the time na most of industries have slowed down at yung iba halos tumigil na. There was very little work. So, kayo, you might experience an equivalent of this, or maybe personal problems. So there will be days that you will feel so down. Pero at that time na mahirap yung panahon, pag nag-usap kami ng mga kaibigan ko, we joke around pa na parang hindi to video game Walang video game sa buhay. Hindi to pwedeng pause, stop, or restart. Diba? So, in times like this, you have to push yourself and kailangan mo ng anchor. So, yung anchor mo would be yung pamilya mo, mga kaibigan, boyfriend, girlfriend, or asawa, and even your faith. And in these times, the network that I mentioned earlier that you have built around you can be a big help. Kasi sure, friends can recommend you to a job. They will be proud to recommend you. Kasi sure sila na hindi sila mapapahiya. And even during this time, always keep in mind that you can always, or you can get through the difficult times. And as the saying goes, hardships can make you a better person. So, pag mahirap ang panahon at medyo hirap-hirap tayo, kailangan fight pa rin tayo, di ba? Huwag tayo maghanap ng shortcut. Huwag tayo maghanap ng mga easy money. Kasi yung mga easy money, madali rin mawala yan. And another thing is na tingin ko very important is para sa lalo sa mga kabataan ngayon, do not be impatient. Baka isa yan sa negative effect ng technology sa atin ngayon eh. Gusto natin lahat mabilis. Pero the fruit of hard work takes time. Kaya if you do not get your dream job agad, or get high paying job immediately, okay masyadong malungkot agad, but take the time to learn new things, to improve yourself. And another important in work or any other aspect of life that I can share to you is you have to show respect. Respect is given to everyone. Hindi lang ang nirespeto natin yung mga matataas na tao or may yaman na tao. Respect people around you. Value their work. Appreciate their contribution. How do you show your respect? One way is saying thank you to people around who helps you do your job. Diba? Yung Grab driver na nag-deliver ng pagkain mo, thank you, diba? Yung cleaning lady sa office ninyo, diba? Ang sarap ang trabaho ng malinis yung paligid. So, pasalamat din tayo sa kanila. So, what I'm saying is, never look down on people. Kahit, but you must show respect and appreciation with sincerity. Kahit hindi mo napapansin, yung demeanor mo and expressions reveal kung sincere o hindi ka sa sinasabi mo. So, when we show appreciation sa mga tao o sa mga paligid natin, it must be sincere at hindi tayo nang bobola lang. So, ngayon, ito ay probably baka isipin nyo hindi masyadong importante. Pero lately I've realized that I have one big flaw sa character ko. No? Hindi ako madalas ngumiti eh. So siguro I'd probably tell to you na smile more often. Kasi sinasabi sa akin yun ng mga kaibigan ko eh. Masyado raw akong seryoso. So I wish I can smile parate, no? So baka sakali I can still unlearn yung aking parating seryosong mukha. Di ba? And then, as an ending, I would like to impart to you a quote from Jim Lovell na nabasa ko sa office ng aking former professor and boss, the former department head of the Geodetic Engineering Department of FEATI University, Engineer Privado Dalire, at the time also the Chief of the Geodetic Surveys Division of Land Management Bureau. So ito yung quote, be thankful for the problems, because if it was less difficult, they would have hired someone less qualified. So when you encounter difficulties in life, you know that you are qualified and equipped to overcome that difficulty. So, pag tayo hirap na hirap sa trabaho, baka akala natin hindi na natin kaya, pero pagsikapan lang natin kasi yun nga, kaya tayo ang nandiyan kasi kaya natin yan, diba? So, again, congratulations everyone. And thank you again to FEATI and to mga new graduates. Good luck as you enter the real world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer Dizon. And of course, with all the negativity going around, it's good to hear some motivation and wisdom nga po, no? Lalo na from someone na alam yung pinagdadaanan, yung hirap ng mga estudyante. And it's true na there's no shortcut to success, and be humble, stay grounded all the time. Okay, so thank you so much, Sir Dison, for gracing the event also. And as usual, for audience today, of course, hindi natin makakalimutan ang ating audience for today na galing sa 4 na schools from FEATI, PWU, Trent, and of course, CCP. Guys, if you're here, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. Again, for our audience today, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. And please don't forget to tag and share this to your friends too. So kung wala pa sila dito, tawagan nyo na kasi nakakapanghinayang naman if mamimiss nila itong opportunity na ito. Okay? So if you guys are all ready, here's our schedule for today. We have online applications using resume links, which will be discussed by jobs180.com. We also have the virtual interviews by ADP and hiring for work from home jobs by Accenture. Okay, so again, shout out to everyone who is here na. Again, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And as we go along, type in your questions. And so we can read it later. Sabi ko nga, huwag kayong mahiyang magtanong po. This is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. So medyo mahaba-haba ang ating session for today. So sit back, relax, and let us all hashtag learn together. Okay, kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. So for our first topic, which is online applications using ResumeLink, we have the Managing Director from Jobs180.com who has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. Again, the Managing Director from Jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Everyone, allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to maging job-winning tool or job-winning resume ito, meron akong checklist. So go with me, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat. This should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay? More than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at doon ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos? Ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So if ever lang, meron kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot. Pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It's very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw yung makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So, sayang lang. So, you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register, ratong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay, lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR, kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot, lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So, ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So, I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis ay makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on-off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or ano mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating mo sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gaano karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Ay baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa dalawang lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have, kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No? Ilagay mo sa loob ng ResumeLink. Just transfer them here inside the ResumeLink para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam niyo na yan. Okay? Ito mga susunod ko papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano yung ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan. Ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, diba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teacher, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay. Ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So, kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda yung sample yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng mga ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes, a picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Di ba? O sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So depende on how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na akit bahay gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung pakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon, interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pinakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan, blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality niyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat yung gawin at hindi yung dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto ka niya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Diba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills o sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin? Wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real-time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real-time. As in real-time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun, no? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo atensyon, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details yun na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I've just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nag-submit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon, by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, saka nakakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganon. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data. Pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi. O, makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O, di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, 'di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing, edi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, di wala nangyari. 'Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay, again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo na nagsasabing be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Alright, so good afternoon, Sir Kim. Ayan, so sorry guys, I have to change clothes kasi sobrang init. Ayan.
No, I just want to remind lang the audience, if you have any questions, you may post your questions here sa my comment section. Now, if ever lang nagsisink in pa sa inyo yung mga pinagsasabi ko, you can just send your questions to info@jobs180.com o kaya dun sa Facebook namin, sa facebook.com/jobs180. Today, we prepared a lot of speakers, so I know it's a jam-packed session. So, yun na, I will not be eating up more of your time. Yun na lang. Ingat po. And then, see you in our next session.
Alright, thank you, Sir Kim. Okay, so let's now move on to our next speaker for today, who will talk about virtual interviews and dressing up. So we have the HR business partner from ADP Philippines. So Ms. Kat has been with ADP for 9 years now and 5 months. She is currently an HR business partner, but also has a decade of experience in training and development. Her most notable achievement career-wise is her certification in New Jersey to facilitate MDT Management Development Program. So Kat was married in Istanbul to her Turkish husband in 2017. She is an animal advocate and has 4 beautiful dogs. Again, the HR business partner from ADP Philippines, Ms. Kat Herrera. Hi, Ms. Kat. Good afternoon po. Hi, Ms. Kat.
Hi, good afternoon.
Ayan,
Good afternoon, Joyce. Thank you for inviting us again here. Are you
yes
able to
po.
see my screen?
Not yet po. Is it up?
Yes, yes, it
There po.
is.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're sharing the entire screen po.
So now can you see it?
Yes, ma'am. Please put it
All
in
right.
full screen na lang, ma'am.
Yep. All right.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am. So, I'll leave it with po. Your screen is up. So, if you're ready, I'll see you after 20 minutes. You have 20 minutes po to
Okay.
present, and I'll be back po for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss Kat.
Thank you. Thanks, Joyce. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you again for inviting us here. I'm Kat Herrera. I'm one of the HR business partners at ADP, and I'm also in charge, along with my partner Chloe, with campus hiring and sourcing for fresh graduates. So we highly encourage you to apply at ADP because we want to mold talent. And today I want to share with you something that hopefully makes you extra successful when it comes to landing your first job. I'm sure that as first time applicants or as fresh graduates, you might have some apprehensions regarding the application process. And today, we are going to talk about acing interviews, which would deal mostly with tips so that you may be better equipped for future job interviews. And of course, we will be identifying interview guidelines as well as how to dress up properly and some other tips that will be useful for you in your future job search. We have some common agenda today. That would be fears and anxiety, quick remedies, relaxation techniques, selection funnel, interview tips, star, words to avoid, and final tips. If these items seem a lot for you, don't worry because it's going to be easy because everything would be almost self explanatory and we're just going to make it light, fun, and breezy for you. Let's start with the common interview fears. I'm sure that you might be nervous, you might be feeling anxious about the time that you'll have to come for your interviews. And today, the landscape has changed a bit since the pandemic because everything for now has been set up virtually, including interviews. But the interview fears, the common interview fears remain the same, whether it be face to face or virtual. You might feel that you're underprepared. You might fear that you might make a bad impression, that you're underqualified. Being late, I hope that's not one of your fears because that is definitely within your control. There's something that you can do about it, right? And not knowing the answer to the interviewer's question, being overqualified, or general anxiety. One point or another during your recruitment process, you might feel these things. And I want you to know that it's but normal. Accept it, feel it, and know that there are things that you can do to better handle these kind of situations and these kind of anxiety. If you feel that you are underprepared, actually that's all there's also not excuse right now for you to be underprepared because there's a lot of information at your fingertips nowadays. Before, when we had to apply, we had to research the companies. How? By using the internet, yes, but the social media back then was not really as rampant as now. So today you have a lot of tools at your disposal that you can use to ensure that you are prepared not only in answering questions but also with your knowledge of the company. Because one common error that I encounter as an interviewer is when I ask the applicant, why are you applying at ADP? What do you know about our company? Right? Because I would have assumed that if you're serious about the job, you would know what we are doing and what you're getting into. If you say, well, I'm applying, if you just answer that with general things like your company is good, or I heard good things about your company, that is so generic and it doesn't really establish trust. It doesn't establish your credibility or your passion in working at that said company. You have to know what it's all about. For ADP, we are, let's say, you can answer it as such. ADP, I heard, is a human capital management company, and I know that you handle your clients' HR products and services, such as payroll, compensation, benefits, and the likes. I would like to be part of such a global company, and I heard that you take care of your employees. That's already one great answer, and it gives off a great first impression because it seems or it makes the interviewer feel that you are really determined and that you really want to secure the job, right? Being late, as I said, you definitely can manage that, especially in the virtual environment. Make sure that you allot enough time. before the interview. If you are doing a face-to-face interview, then definitely leave 2 to 3 hours ahead of schedule because you never know what you're going to encounter on the road. There are always, or there might be some emergency that you have to prepare for. Making a bad impression was the first way to make a bad impression. It is to be rude, right? So make sure that you are not going over the line of overconfidence and rudeness. It's great if you're confident in your skill set, in your abilities. I suggest that you keep doing that. But do not be cocky, do not be arrogant, do not make the interviewer feel as if you're too good for the job because that's a surefire way to get a rejection. Now, for not knowing the answer to the interviewer's question, that is definitely normal, especially for you guys, since you are fresh graduates. If you do not know, please do not make up stories or make up answers out of thin air. Just tell the interviewer that at the moment, I would need to research on that and I am not familiar with that term or that terminology or jargon, right? And the interviewer would not take it against you. Believe you me, it is better to ask questions rather than trying to pretend that you understood and then giving an inaccurate or inappropriate response, right? General anxiety, yes, that is definitely a factor when it comes to interviewing and other fears that you might have. But like I said earlier, the best thing is that there are ways to mitigate these. And before you even know how to handle them, you have to know how to spot them. As they say, awareness is key. So, what are the symptoms of anxiety? If it's mental, you might be thinking negatively, you might have difficulty concentrating, experience emotional flatness, irrational thoughts, and moodiness. Physical manifestations would be shaking legs, feeling nauseous or nauseated, shortness of breath, sweaty palms, raising heartbeat, cold feet, dry throat, breathing difficulty, and poor coordination. If you observe yourself exhibiting one of these symptoms, then do not fear. Just try to compose yourself. The first thing really is to breathe, 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 and relax. All is well, and you can still continue because there are ways that you can do to make sure that you try to mitigate your stressors. And these are them. If say you have a nervous habit of touching your face and your hair, you definitely can just put your hands on your lap as a quick remedy. Put your hands on your lap. It says there, keep your hands visible or take a pen to keep them busy, but my suggestion really is to just keep them on your lap and so you do not distract the interviewer with all those unnecessary gestures. If you're feeling so tense that you have to cross your arms, that is a no-no because it indicates that it is a very defensive stance, right? It indicates that you're closed off. So relax and find your best sitting position. Please do not slouch because that'll affect your confidence and the way you speak. You always have to have good posture because it'll add to your self-esteem and the way that you answer questions. If you have sweaty palms, of course, do not forget to bring a handkerchief or a towel or maybe just even a tissue paper so that you can address that. Voice trembling means that, yes, you really are nervous. So take a deep breath to relax your tense throat. If you have dry mouth, if possible, if you're in a virtual interview, have a glass of water beside you, or if not, then just take deep breaths or take a minute to pause to relax and try to compose yourself. If it's hard to concentrate, it means that there are a lot of distractions around you, especially in the virtual environment. I suggest putting your phone away, putting everything that distracts you away, find a secluded place, a noise-free place, so to speak, in your household, and make sure that everybody knows that you are having an interview so that there would be no unnecessary interruptions. If you are in the interview and you find that it's hard to focus on the questions and you somehow missed it, once again, do not pretend, just ask the question and ask the interviewer to paraphrase. They would be glad to do it for you. If you're stumbling over your words, that's a very clear indication that you're speaking too fast. So slow down and do not be afraid to pause. Blinking, if you're overdoing blinking like that, every second you're blinking, that means it's a dead giveaway that you are definitely nervous. So Try to keep eye contact, but do not stare because we know staring is rude. Just try to look the person in the eye for a few seconds and then do not let your eyes wander all over. Do not try to stare him down without blinking either. That's rude. If you are really, really nervous and you cannot keep eye contact that long, try to look at the person here in between the forehead because that would also give the impression that you're looking at the person directly even if you are not. See, that's already a pro life hack. Those are your quick remedies. And if you feel that you still need more before your interview, try to utilize one of these. This is not one size fits all. It's not going to be, hey, what works for him would work for me. You have to find your groove. You have to find the best thing that works for you and stick with that. Visualization is simply allowing images to make sure or to really manifest out there what you want to happen. If you want to succeed, if you want to have a great interview, visualize yourself doing that. Even better, go one step further and visualize yourself on your first day at the job with that company, right? Try to already picture it in your mind. Condition yourself that you're going to succeed because if you don't cheer yourself on, who will, right? You should be your number one cheerleader. Nobody would do it except for you. Listening to music, absolutely. I find that this could be relaxing. It doesn't have to be classical music. It really is up to you. If rock is your groove, if rock is your jam, then definitely listen to that. Anything that makes you relax, anything that helps you to focus. Power posing, cat, really? That sounds kind of lame or that sounds kind of corny. It doesn't have to be power posing, but you know what? It might work for you. Just pose like a superhero, your favorite superhero, whether it be Batman, Wonder Woman, or Superwoman, right? For 2 minutes, try to hold on to that pose. But if not, then that's okay too. Just cheer yourself on. If you don't want to pause, just say, hey, you can do this. You rock. You know what? You know your skill set. You know what they're looking for, and you're it, right? Prep yourself up for success. Psych yourself up and try to mentally prepare that you're going to do a good job instead of psyching yourself to fail. Now, breathing is definitely crucial. It would help you in any kind of situation. If you are losing composure, try to breathe for 4 counts, hold your breath for 4 counts. Do not make it longer or do not make it too obvious if you're breathing in the interview, because once again, that might be distracting. These are the tools in your tool belt that you can take out whenever is appropriate and whenever you feel like you need them. Hopefully, you find one that works best for you. If not, just try again next time. There's no harm in trying, right? Because it's a matter of trial and error. If power posing doesn't work, maybe music will. If music doesn't, visualization. Try to make a board, so to speak, a job board, right? Your dream board. And so you have your goals there, which would hopefully propel you to giving it your best shot and landing that job, right? So now that we've talked about that, very quickly, I want to share with you the funnel of the recruitment process. Of course, it starts with us, the recruitment team, posting the job vacancies available. That's what you see on Jobs 180. And when we do that, you immediately start giving out your resume or your URL link. We then screen and test it. We check out your resume, we check out your bio, and if we feel that you are good or a good fit for the job, then we go ahead and call you. We do the phone screening. The phone screening is all about the work conditions, whether you are prepared to work at night, whether you are amenable to taking in calls and working in Makati, those kind of stuff. It also gauges your communication skills. If you pass that, you're going to be endorsed through the initial interview, which would happen at the moment still virtually, and that would be the time where you would be asked the situational questions. If you pass that, you're going to be endorsed for the final interview with the hiring manager. And should you be a successful candidate, then definitely you're going to get the job offer. The targeted selection interviews, I mentioned that those are the situational questions that we always ask. Because before, in the olden days, so to speak, recruiters would always try to ask you quirky questions to catch you off guard, right? But now we want to make sure that our questions are targeted based on the skills that we are looking for, the competencies that we want our employees to have. If you answer, make sure that it's always upon or based upon your previous or past experiences and not the things that you would do in the future. Because this is where we get to know you and how you acted in those types of situations. That would give us a clue on how you would be as a future employee. If you get the job offer, hopefully you get the strong start that you're looking for because, of course, it's not only about securing the job, it's actually about building a career to last. I've been with ADP for 10 years and some months now, and I can say that I've definitely learned a lot. This has been a great journey for me. And if you're really passionate about something, that you can definitely do it as well. There's nobody stopping you but you, right? You are the only person who can limit yourself. So go ahead, shoot for the stars. Apply for those even if you think that you would not be qualified. If you think that you really have the passion and the drive to learn, then you can definitely do so. For other interview tips that we have, I know that this is what you're interested in as well. When it comes to attire, when it comes to dressing up, Kat, really, what is the best way to dress up? Be at your best when it comes to attire. Yes, that's true because once again, that signifies your commitment to the company and to the job. But what is the best attire, so to speak? We do here at ADP, we do not expect you to come in a suit and a tie. We do not expect you to come in barong and what the old school pinya barong that you might have, gown, so to speak. Definitely, you're not required to use or dress up like that. Dress comfortably, number one. Dress comfortably. Make sure that you can move and you can breathe because you don't need the unnecessary stress of having ill fitting clothes. Dress comfortably, yes, but do not be too comfortable in the sense that you are coming in wearing flip-flops or shorts. These are the things that really goes without saying, right? Do not wear sandals to your interviews. Make sure that it is a business interview after all. So make sure that you are representing yourself well. Make sure that your hair is fixed. Make sure that your clothes at least are clean and that you're dressed properly. Just business casual is what we're looking for here at ADP. So maybe button down shirts, long sleeves if you are prone to using that. If it's not too hot for you, then definitely go for that. Polo shirts with colors would do. Slacks, khakis, or skirts for girls, dresses. We do not limit you. Feel free to still use comfortable or wear comfortable clothes so long as it's still appropriate. No revealing dresses, for instance, right? I'm sure you've heard of people say coming in wearing short skirts or short dresses. Remember, first impressions last. So if the first impression of you is not that favorable, it would definitely have an impact on your interview. That's why power dressing is an absolute must. And it's not only for your interviewer, it's not only to establish trust, it's also for you. Because you've heard of the success or the phrase rather, dress to impress, right? And if you are dressed successfully, then you feel good. You feel better about yourself. You feel like you can slay the world. And so, if you are confident, then that translates to your answers and to the entire interview as well. That's the power of dressing for success, right? Know the position in the company. I've already spoken about that. I cannot stress enough. Make sure that you are aware of the company's values and if it aligns with your own, because you're not there for the interview just to secure a job for 3 months, 6 months, or so. Hopefully, you are looking for a long term career. And hopefully, with the right qualifications and the right mindset, you'll be able to land that dream job. Now, when it comes to scenario explanations, prepare for that. I've already discussed the situational questions, the targeted selection interview questions, and later on, we'll practice with that because it's so easy to say it. But of course, it gets better. The more that you practice it, the easier it will become for you. It says here, follow the interviewer's lead. That's correct. If the interviewer is trying to build rapport with you, please do not be too robotic, too mechanical, and just so stiff, right? If they're trying to establish a connection, a personal connection by, let's say, joking or throwing a few jokes here and there, definitely laugh, smile at the very least. It would definitely lighten things up and it would help help you build rapport. But do not go overboard. Once again, there is a line between being inappropriate and being funny or receptive to jokes. Do not be sarcastic. Do not feel that, hey, I'm going to use my dry wit. Sarcasm can be misconstrued or misunderstood. So do not go for that either. Right now that we've talked about the basic interview tips, I'm sure that you are very curious about the STAR method. This is in line with the target selection that I was mentioning about when it comes to the questions that will be asked of you. It would be based upon your past experiences, and the way to answer that is using the STAR method. What is STAR? It is so simple and so easy. It is the situation, the task, the action, and the result. Make sure that you give out all four and you'll be golden. As opposed to just answering, yeah, you know what, I'm good at multitasking. You can utilize the STAR method. How? Let's try to practice. Here's a question for you. Example number 1, tell me about a time when you needed to complete several things at the same time. What did you do to get the work done? You might say, hey, I managed my time well. Yes, but how? We are interested in the how you manage to do it. So with STAR, it says that you have to give the situation, the task, the action, and the result. If you look at the answer here, you might feel that, hey, it's so long. Actually, it's not long at all. It will only take less than 2 minutes to give a full and concrete answer. And your interviewer would definitely know what your skill or competency is, which is being good at time management. See, you can say every morning before the store opens, there's a lot to do to get it ready. Restocking, cleanup, taking markdowns, things like that. Last week, 2 people called off sick on the same day, so we had even more prep work than usual. What I did was prioritize the work based on what would have the greatest impact on customers. Restocking, cleanup, things like that. Then we did the lower priority things during the day as we had time. The store was fully stocked and looking good when we opened. It is so specific and it is so clear what you did. So let's see where the situation is. Situation, tada, would be the first 2 sentences. These are the tasks that you needed to handle, and what happened is that 2 people called off sick on the same day, so there's more work. The action then is this. You prioritize the work based on what would have the greatest impact on customers. Restocking, cleanup, things like that. And then the result is that the store was fully stocked and looking good when you opened. It's as easy as that, as simple as that. Not just a generic answer, not just a general answer, but actually concrete examples of what you've already done. You see the difference, right? And when you say STAR, it doesn't have to always be in order. It doesn't have to be, oops, Kat, sorry, I forgot the situation. Let me go back. No, you don't have to say that. It can be in any order as you see fit or whatever you're comfortable with. Just like this one. What have you done to make your team more efficient and organized? Here is the answer. So I'm going to give you a few seconds or a minute to read the answer, and let's see if you would be able to pinpoint yourself what the situation, the task, the action, and the result is. Let's see if it's in order. Upon reading, I hope that you are not confused. I hope that you would be able to pinpoint where the situation is because, like I mentioned, it doesn't have to always be in order. In this instance, where do you think the situation is? It is right in the middle. The person I replaced had only trained the most experienced people in these things. So when one of them didn't make it to work, we had more tasks than people trained to do them. That made life miserable for me and the team. Right smack in the middle is your situation and the task. What is the action then? The action, it is right there in front of you. It's the first statement, right? The first statement, which is I cross-trained the team in all the responsibilities of running the store. And it gives you the result of It not happening again because people have been cross-trained. Every team member has said that their jobs are more interesting now. I hope you got a better picture of how the star format works. And if you do not feel comfortable at first, do not stop. Do not berate yourself and do not give up. Do not get disheartened. It's going to get easier the more that you practice it. So I suggest have your mock interviews with your friends or your family members before the interview itself. Try to also anticipate what questions you would be asked. It would definitely revolve around your experiences at school because you are fresh graduates. So you might be asked, what projects have you led? Tell me about a time when you had to handle a stressful project. Tell me about a time when you helped a colleague or a classmate. Those are the questions that you can practice the STAR method on. Now, when it comes to words to avoid, I just want to leave you with some of these. These are the things that we hope you can eliminate from your vocabulary. It's not going to be easy because we are so used to using them. Usually, generally, we, I believe, I think, I wouldn't have, or next time. These words actually detract from your message. It does not add value, and they're considered as fillers when used too often. There are a lot of people who use usually a lot, who use generally a lot, and they are crutch words when they don't know what to say next. And in Americans, it's the word like. You know, I went to this store and I was like, it's very, very distracting if you say it too often. And it does not need to be in your answer anyway. Usually, generally, remove that. We, who is in the interview, who did the things, it's you, right? So you have to take ownership. You have to say, I did this. I was able to handle this project by dot, 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 instead of we. I, using I, takes ownership and accountability. I believe or I think it makes you sound unsure. And the key is to sound confident, right? So remove those things. I believe, I think, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have means that you regret something. And instead of that, you can just say what you did to make it better. And next time, of course, it's so easy to say what you would do next time. But again, we're interested to know what you have done in the past. So these are just the general words to avoid so that your interview would be more seamless and your answers would be smoother. Now that we've discussed that, there are some things that we need to wrap up the interview, and it's very, very quick. Let's say the interviewer asks you, do you have any questions for me? Do not ask just for the sake of asking. Make sure that your question is still related to the interview at hand. So here are some foolproof way of asking questions. You can ask, how much guidance is made available to individuals in developing career goals? Or simply put, what is your career progression like? What can I expect within my 30, 60, or 90 days? How am I going to be measured? What are you looking for in employees, right? What can I look forward to? What would be the characteristics of your top performers? Those are the things that you can ask, and the interviewer would feel, hey, this person really wants this job. And this person not only wants the job, but actually is interested in further improvement. Believe you me, that speaks volumes about a person's character. And it would definitely be a plus point for you in your interview. So you've already opened, you've answered the questions, the targeted selection questions, and now you have wrapped up. That leaves us with just a few final tips for you. Very, very easy things to remember. Needless to say, a smile, a strong handshake, if it's physical, would make you look and feel confident. Do not be so stiff, do not frown, because a smile goes a long way in establishing connection with your interviewer. And it's so easy to do, right? It's so easy to smile. Be your normal self, not your interview self. This is very, very important. Do not just give answers that you think the interviewer wants to hear, because believe you me, we have ways of finding out if you are telling the truth or if you are being transparent. Do not lie, do not fabricate things, just be you and try to really put yourself out there, be open and be vulnerable, so to speak, because this interview is to get to know you better as a person, of course, but as a future employee, most definitely. Think of the interview as the question. It is a two-way street. Neither should be monopolizing the conversation. And remember, the employer also needs you. We need great candidates. We are definitely looking for qualified candidates. And even if you fail, just keep in mind there is plenty of other options. And whether you are successful or not, the interview is a good learning experience. Do not be too hard on yourself. Do not give up the first few times that you have a bad interview. There's always something to learn in each and every one of those interviews. If you didn't do well because you didn't know the answers or because you were mumbling, you were stuttering, then make sure that you focus on that on your next interview and make sure that you come even more prepared so that you can do a better job to represent yourself. These are the final tips for you, and hopefully, you have learned a nugget or two that you can use in your future job search. Once again, thank you for inviting us. Thank you for your time. And if we have time, I would be open to answering some of your questions.
All right, so thank you so much, Miss Kat. So as much as we wanted to have a Q&A po, we didn't have enough time po. So can you at least give tips and advice for the graduating students?
I'm sorry, you were asking for more tips or more advice? Is that what you asked? I'm not sure if I got your question correctly.
Sorry, may delay lang. May delay lang po on my part. Okay. So as much as we wanted to have a Q&A, ma'am, so we didn't have enough time. So we'll be asking for tips and advice for the graduating students.
Tips and advice. Tips and advice.
Yes, ma'am.
I feel that the best thing that you can do before your interview really is to find the company that you feel you want to work with for the long haul, not just for a couple of months. You might have heard of job hoppers, and you might have heard that, yes, there is a definite stigma if you just keep on jumping from one job to another. In order for you to avoid that, I feel that you have to come in the interview or you have to come in the process of recruitment not just focused on the salary or how much you can get. Of course, salary or compensation is a huge factor, but longevity is also one thing that you should keep in mind. If you have a great basic pay and whatnot, but the company is causing you so much stress and anxiety that you just drag yourself to work every day, then you would not last with that company. And you would probably feel more apprehensive and more anxious in searching for a new and better job. So do it right the first time. Do not be swayed just by the pay, but try to focus on what the company has been doing for the employees, whether they take care of their employees, whether they have a great management who will give you support, if they're going to give you the trainings that you need in order for you to hone your skills. Those are the necessary questions that you can ask yourself when it comes to searching for the right company. Are you there, Joyce? Not sure if it's me, but I think that it is lagging. So I hope that you heard my answer to your question.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Kat. Thank you so much for sharing your time and expertise for today's session. We wish to have you on our next set of webinars. So sayang wala po tayong mahabang oras para magkaroon ng mas mahabang Q&A. Thank you so much, Miss Kat.
No worries. Thank you as well.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. So for our last topic for today, which is hiring for work from home jobs, we have the recruiting manager from Accenture. So we have Sir Alex Gomez, who has over 17 years of experience leading corporate and volume recruitment for finance, banking, and international BPO companies. He is an energetic and forward-thinking leader who balances meaningful participation and results. As a former student leader, he jump-started his career back in 2003, advocating BPO career opportunities among the Philippines' top feeder universities and colleges. He finished his bachelor's degree in commerce, major in marketing management from the La Salle University, Manila. He also finished the teacher training for Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga and Mindfulness Yin Yoga. Again, the recruiting manager from Accenture, Mr. Alex Gomez. Hi, Sir Alex. Good afternoon po.
Hello, Miss Kat. Here I go again. And of course, good
Again and
afternoon
again.
to our viewers today. Okay, I'll make it quick, no? I have a few minutes to cover quite a number of slides. So thank you, Jobs 180. Thanks, Miss Kat. We'll start with a very quick video.
All right, sir. I leave it at sir. Good luck po.
O sige, baka, well, my colleague here, walang sound yata, ano? Will that,
No
the
sound,
sound?
sir.
Sige, tingnan natin. Let's keep on trying. Ganyan talaga sa live.
Totoo yan, sir. Wala pa rin pong sound.
Okay, sige. Well, that was a minute video quickly about Accenture, and I'll be expounding more on that in my slides, no? Through our slides. Thank you, Miss Yel. Okay. Kahit we can start on the first slide na kahit without the video. Ayan. Okay, thank you. Now, the available work from home careers, of course, this is due to the digitized career placement and career recruiting and career opportunities out there. So that's going to be my topic for today. And of course, presenting to you more about Accenture, my company, as we offer you these opportunities. Next slide, please. Okay, so I guess we all know, and we are all in the same situations where we had to work from home. And just like organizations around the globe, we have been experiencing a workforce disruption and at an unprecedented scale and speed, no? So the same as the companies, no? So we had to look for ways as to how to address this. So CEOs all around the globe have prioritized the present or the now, focusing on supporting their people, the customers, the candidates, the suppliers, and orchestrating the responses to disruption on all fronts. So, in parallel, leaders have sought to stabilize, of course, the revenues and take care of the customers to reshape their businesses to align with evolving demand and find new growth pathways. So that was our situation, and that is also the situation which we are continuingly um, um, getting to master, no, somehow. Okay, next slide, please. So let me give you a glimpse of recruiting. No, I know for all of you, or at least for most of you, would wonder, no, how is recruiting, or how would you find that ideal career during these times? As we all know, pre-COVID, there has been flyering, there's door to door, no. About 20 years ago, when I was still fresh from college, I would remember myself going to Makati, no? Going to Makati and going from one building to another, really just dropping off my resume along with my classmates as well. We would do face-to-face interviews, and of course, we will take the test right at the facility of the offices. But the next normal is really about getting these opportunities available in social media and the internet. And sometimes all of those, based on the AI generated job boards, which are sometimes that's match our profile, and I guess these guys, no, and you know this, and opportunities comes right at you, no, through our devices. So we also do virtual interviews during these times, and of course also online exams. So this is what changed. Um, During these times, there are some challenges and benefits, right? The challenges, of course, there will be less personal interactions before the between the applicant and the recruiter. Di ba sometimes, no, even though online, even though you see face to face, it is still somehow quite challenging to showcase your personality. That's why during these times, what some tips here is like try to wear probably your most comfortable clothes with color, for example, if it's an interview, because that's how you can actually become more confident, diba? During the situation, there has been also high fallout rate due to technical difficulties. So our tip here would be to check your technical connection, diba? Prior to your commitment for the interview. No, and which brings me to a higher percentage of unresponsiveness and rescheduled application because of the absence of face-to-face interaction. Sometimes when you receive an email or a text message trying to confirm your interview, sometimes nakakalimutan natin to confirm when um, knowing that both of you, the interviewer and you, are actually are reserving a slot or a time slot for both of you. So it is really important for you um, to confirm your commitment because it's actually reserving a slot. Diba? So, but during this time, of course, there has been, higher percentage of unresponsiveness. But even though these things are happening, there are a few things that are working during these times, no? Of course, we are able um, to have faster and more streamlined application kasi nga, virtual interviews and online assessment na. And when we do online interviews and assessments, we are able to ensure the safety and security of both our recruiting teams also and the candidates. And of course, it becomes more cost efficient. No, just imagine ako, di ba? I'm going from one building to another during that time. It saves me also resources. Next slide, please. Very quickly, you may wonder, okay, when I go to interviews, what our employers are looking for? Or if I got into the career that I really want, which what are the skills that would allow me to progress or eventually become promoted all down the years, no? They say that the skills of the future are these things. The top 10 skills are here per 2022 based on World Economic Forum. But I'll be zeroing in on the top 5 here because we've said that the future of workforce need to be a new breed of both the doer and the thinker. No, gone are the days when we just know how to use applications, but our ability to think, and provide insights is as necessary. No, and so if you do not have these things yet, I know you have exercises in the university, or in your college to practice providing your insights into some form of data. So if you don't have that yet, you have to look for those opportunities to learn, no, because these are the things that will be that will differentiate you from other talents, no, analytical thinking and innovation. And as we know, learning never stops. Even up to this point, I have almost 20 years of work experience. I never stop learning. I would always yearn for something to learn about new skills and probably become have mastery of the career path that I have chosen. Creativity and also technology design and programming, and as mentioned, critical thinking and analysis. Next slide, please. So I hope that I was able to give you tips, during these times in choosing your career and being processed and the skills that you would need. Let me talk quickly about our company. So Accenture is a global professional organization, professional services organization with leading capabilities in digital, cloud, and security. During the next slides, you might have interest. Some terms might ring a bell that have interest to you, and I guess some of the speakers that have talked to you about getting your next career, it's really important that you have passion towards something that you really want to learn. So if there's something that I would say in the succeeding slides that would interest you, these are practically some of the expertise that we have. And so you will be able to source for possible mentors, as you join the company as well. And I think I would really, and I really encourage you to find those companies where you would learn more because of the expertise that they have. So just imagine how huge a company we are. We are across 40 industries. We have about 569,000 people who deliver in the 569,000 people who deliver in the promise of technology and human ingenuity, um, for as we serve our clients in more than 120 countries. Next slide, please. You may wonder which portion or which tower, perhaps, no, which portion of the organization can you actually be part of, no? So let me give you a glimpse of that. There's strategy and consulting, which help transform the world's leading organizations, working across the C-suite to capitalize on disruption, enable competitiveness, and drive growth and profitability via continuous innovation. Second, we also have interactive, where we help leading organizations design, build, communicate, and run experiences across the entire journey for their customers, employees, patients, and or citizens. Um, and then we also have technology, where we provide application services, intelligent platform services, software engineering, cloud and infrastructure, and security services. It also leads our R&D activities, investments in emerging technologies, and our ecosystem relationships. And finally, we also have operations, where we run business processes on behalf of our clients, either for specific functions, or across in specific industries. We're the only company with the ability to combine and integrate all these capabilities at scale in an industry context. Next slide, please. These are the locations you can see on your screen, our locations in the Philippines. No, we are in 3 major locations: Ilocos, Manila, and Cebu, and some of those buildings might be familiar to you. Next slide, please. In the Philippines, we'll leverage the extensive range of expertise that help our clients solve the most complex challenges, which are in advanced technology centers and intelligent operation centers. So let me explain to you further each of these centers. Next slide, please. Now, for the advanced technology centers in the Philippines, powering digital transformation at speed and scale, no? So intelligent platform services. We also have intelligent cloud and infrastructure services. We have intelligent data and analytics. No, for the platform services, we have SAP, Oracle, etc. For the cloud and infrastructure services, we have Service Desk, Workplace Cloud, etc. We also have for data and analytics, we have the data architecture, data strategy and modernization, data management, and many more. We fuel growth through automation and AI. Yes, next slide, please. That is intelligent operation centers. As mentioned earlier, we have cross-industry services. You can see here the list, and the industry-specific services. Next slide, please. I've given you a very quick glimpse of, which portions of our organization you can be part of. I've told you about the locations, no? But of course, as you choose the organization you have to be in, it has to be a great place to work, no? Just these 6 items here that you see on your screen are just a few of the many reasons why we are a great place to work. Year after year, we have been recognized not only for our business performance, but also for our inclusive, diverse, and environmentally sustainable workplace where our people can be the best version of themselves. Accenture in the Philippines is the first Accenture geographic unit to achieve level 2 EDGE, a MOVE certification. EDGE is Economic Dividends for Gender Equality. It is a global independent certification system that evaluates organizational progress on gender equality using objective and measurable evidence while also encouraging change. Next slide, please. Giving you a glimpse of our culture. You have innovation everywhere. Innovation and learning are quite big things that are happening in our company. And so you can see here Innovation First Fridays, Robotics Cups, Playhouses, Innovation Champion. Some of the activities we're able to do a virtual version as well. But I think what I will have to focus here on is the continuous learning. We have an online portal where we have My Learning, where we have self-paced and also required courses to take online. And we can actually choose also those that best interest us, you know, and we have access to all of these. You can just imagine it's just a library of learning materials. And we also measure our own technology knowledge, no, which we call technology quotient. Okay, and many, many more. Now, what do we offer? So when you are able to final decide or perhaps been processed for particular companies that you would like to join, of course, you will be comparing those offers. And some of us may have the tendency to look for just the basic salary, but apart from that, you should look at its entirety. Um, our company has a competitive package where you are also where you can also have night differential if you are eligible, also based on eligibilities, no, allowances, variable pay, and just very few companies may be unique to Accenture as well. Employee stock purchase plan, no, you have that capability to purchase stocks, no, as you become employees. And of course the loyalty and Christmas gifts. Of course, different amounts yan, ano, when you compare that with other companies, but I think this is something that we are also proud to receive. Apart from the compensation package that companies usually offer, you should also look for companies that has the expertise, that has the knowledge base, that will enable you to be to upskill. No, we have company sponsored trainings and certification. No, I guess I will have to really capitalize on company sponsored trainings. Sometimes not all these resources are available in other companies, but this is something that we actually provide. We have flexible working arrangements, as mentioned, and I think as virtual opportunities are available, healthy work environment. And of course, health benefits during these times, really important that your HMO or the health and life insurance coverage starts from day one of employment. So you have to look for this all the time. And of course, we have the standard leave benefits and expanded parental leaves. Next slide, please. I still have time, no? Or ano na, overtime na tayo. Super really quickly. Kung naguguluhan pa rin kayo or talagang iniisip nyo pa rin, no, what are the opportunities exactly I could have, no? You can go to our Technovator quiz. So the at your own time, no? The link is there, or the address is there. You can actually look you can actually take that test for about 10 to 15 minutes. It will suggest the career opportunities that are available based on your inclinations or interest. Next slide, please. Really quickly, if we can play this video, this is an application process, but I think we can skip this. I think we can skip this because I think they will be providing their in jobs 180. Sige, next. Okay. Anyway, this is just a candidate journey application. This is online. You will provide you the link for jobs 180 for Accenture, and then of course screening and validation happens after that, and then the pre-employment test, which is also virtual. An HR interview will also be advised to you as you pass the preceding processes, and of course a job offer. So HR interview and the job offer are currently done virtually. And if you haven't, of course, you will be taking the Technovator quiz that I just sent to you. These are the technology starter roles. If you are a tech creative, you can be an application developer. If you are a data expert, you can be a data scientist, no? And then next slide, please. For operation starter roles, if you are a numbers analyst, you can go into general accounting. If for customer relation, you can go into customer service representatives. Baka magtaka kayo, I'm just reading some, but all of these are available. All right, so you can know more about us through jobs180.com/Accenture and know more about us through our social media pages, through Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So thank you very much. Thank you for the time that you've given us. If I have 3 more minutes if of your time, I can still answer a few more questions if you have any. Thank you so much, everyone.
Alright, so thank you so much, Sir Alex. Ayan, so pasensya na, Sir Alex. Medyo ano tayo sa oras. Ayan. So guys, if you have questions, I think Sir Alex will be gladly answering all your questions. So if you have questions, please type them in. We can answer them. We'll try to answer them. And okay, so I think, do we have questions, guys? Okay, sir. Can we ask the available work from home jobs offered by Accenture?
So all of those opportunities there you can are available. Some of them are virtual, some of them are hybrid. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I cannot just pinpoint on particular roles, but those roles that I have presented to you, you are free to try them out, and your recruiters can actually guide you through each one that where you qualify.
And are you also accepting, sir, interns or OJTs po as of the moment?
Yes. Um, so we have interns as
Mm-hmm.
you go. So Miss Kat, I'm just not sure if you also use our landing page, or that is something that we can also provide, no, if they can actually submit it through jobs 180. We can just probably coordinate as to how to identify, no, the internship, because that's a separate application. But just to answer the question directly, we are continuously accepting internship, but of course this is still an application. So just imagine, I think there would be I think more than 1,000 applications right now, but there are opening demands, no, it may not be equal to 1,000, but for sure as you apply, we can look into a possible match of what expertise that you want to be trained for. Then I think that's when we can move forward from there.
Mm-mm. And if you guys are interested, you may submit your resume link at www.jobs180.com/Accenture. Okay, so Sir
Yon.
Alex, your final words po before we end the session.
I think what I would tell the graduating students would always be, use the time in college, or while you are going into the next chapter, very important chapter of your career. It always helps to know yourselves, know your interest, and if you are really pressured to not know it immediately, find people you can talk to, some mentors, etc., who can help you navigate this, because these are the things that will let you um, you know um, talk about, no, during your first interviews, your interests, the things that you have learned, etc., and this is also part of your preparation. And lastly, because as they say, it is always better to know yourself so that you know where you are going to. All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Sir Alex. Thank you so much po for joining and sharing your time and knowledge for today's session. Thank you, sir. Ingat po, ingat. All right, so to officially close our program, may we invite Miss Marjorie um, Nuncho, a marketing coordinator, Trent Information First Technical Career Institute, for the closing remarks.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. First and foremost, I would like to express my appreciation contribution to our webinar in collaboration with Jobs 180. My deepest gratitude goes all who attended the webinar and helped to make it such a successful event. I think the webinar has been very effective in meeting its purpose. No po? My deepest thanks are, of course, reserved for the Jobs 180 for their priceless contributions and for running a smooth event. Thank you po, and God bless us all.
Thank you so much, Miss Marjorie. Thank you so much po. And of course, also to give his closing remarks, may we call on Mr. Norman Ramirez, Assistant BED Principal, PWU-JASMS QC.
Hello, good afternoon to all of you. I would just like to thank Jobs 180 and all the speakers and the companies they present for all the knowledge and information you gave us. To the students who have been attending, I hope you can make do with all these great information and knowledge that they gave us. All the same, let's end this with a positive note, no? I hope to the students, I hope you treat this as an adventure, something to look forward to, because now that things are getting better and we are at the new normal, you are the ones who are most equipped and talented to make do in this new situation. So I wish you all well. So thank you for attending all of this, and to our students in JASMS, PWU-JASMS, and the other students in the all the other schools who are here right now and their teachers. Thank you, and it's nice to see you again. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much also, Sir Ramirez. And this time, let's hear it from Architect Diana Marie Pases Ilaga, Grad Prep Director, Program Head, BS Architecture, FEATI University, for another closing remarks.
Okay, university officials, industry partners, grads prep committee members, faculty members, administrative staff, alumni, students, guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to each and everyone. Before we wrap up today's session, please allow me to say a few things. I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for devoting your time to make this event a huge success. I would like to express our sincerest gratitude to the Fiat University management for their continued support of the Grads Prep program. The same can be said for the members of the Grads Prep Committee who were in charge of planning this session. To Ms. Grace Chua, thank you for organizing and arranging all of the resources for this event. On behalf of Fiat University Management, we would like to thank Jobs180.com for hosting this timely and relevant webinar and for always accommodating FIATU in its grads prep activities. To Ms. Joyce Katakutan and Mr. Kim Chua of Jobs180.com, Ms. Kat Herrera, HR Business Partner of ADP Philippines, and Mr. Alex Gomez of Accenture, thank you so much for sharing with us your insights on today's event. I would also like to express my gratitude to our special guest and motivational speaker for his wonderful and enlightening remarks. To Engineer Carlos Pasis Dizon, thank you very much for sharing with us your journey to success. Your stories, I'm sure, inspired our future graduates to be better equipped and prepared for their chosen profession. Of course, this would not have been successful without the student participants of the different departments and colleges of Fiat University. Thank you, dear students, or should I say, future Fiatinian graduates. I hope that you were able to get some insights as you prepare for your future career under the next normal, as per Sir Alex Gomez, which is brought about by this pandemic. So all of the topics discussed today are useful in the experiential learning that will assist you in establishing your future career. We hope that this grads prep activity together with jobs180.com have been able to provide you with the necessary overview for establishing a unique lifelong guidance system toward a safe and meaningful quality of life in the workplace. And also may be able to put everything you've learned today to good use as you face new challenges of tomorrow. Remember to just keep moving forward. So thank you for taking the time to listen. We wish you all the best in your career choices. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you so much also, Architect Diana, for gracing the event, today's session. So there you have it, guys. We are done with the talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics for today's session. And please do not forget to evaluate this event for FIATE students po. The link is flashed on your screen and is also available at the comment section. Okay, so again, for FIATE students, please do not forget to evaluate this event. The link is flashed on your screen and is also available at the comment section. Okay, the evaluation po is only available to FIATE students. And of course, we would like to thank each one of you guys for staying all throughout the event. We hope that the webinar helps you be prepared in the world of work. And we would like to thank again FIATE PWU-JASMS, Trent, and of course, Cultural Center of the Philippines, Sir Carlos. I'm sure he's watching today po, no, for collaborating with Jobs 180. Thank you so much. We would like to thank also the following sponsors for today's event. Please check our website, www.jobs180.com, for more career opportunities. And if you are interested in looking for OJTs and looking for full-time positions, please submit your resume link at jobs180.com/jobs180. And of course, if you have questions, you may email us at info@jobs180.com. So please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for. Please check our Facebook page for the careers, for the topics that will be discussed, and you are welcome, guys, to join in on those sessions too. So the program is finally concluded. This is your host, Joyce Katakutan. We will see you soon and have a great afternoon. Ingat, everyone.
Change. It happens when you least expect it, but also when you embrace it. At Accenture, we help the world's biggest brands thrive through change. Our people combine technology and creativity, expertise and experience, learning and collaboration, passion and purpose to make a difference for our clients, their customers, our company, and our communities. Behind every great change is a great human. Bring your skills, your curiosity, and your true self to your work every day. Let's do incredible things. Let's deliver on the promise of technology and human ingenuity.
Join the team of experts with the most advanced machine intelligence available and help transform how businesses and their people perform. Empower your career at Accenture. Let there be change.